What's the most tech-illiterate thing you've seen a person do? This girl I know took off the W key on her keyboard and switched it with her A key and was super confused when the key binds weren't switched. My professor wants to take a photo with an iPad instead of a phone so that it would look larger when uploaded. My boss. The guy doing the PAT testing has broken my computer. Me. How has he broken it? My boss. It won't switch on. Me. That's the monitor. Switch it on at the computer. My boss. This is the computer. Me. No, that is the monitor. What is the black box on the floor? My boss. A printer? Me. What? Wasting an entire tech budget on peripherals. With no computers to attach them to. My nana once asked my granddad to turn her laptop on for when she got home. He ended up ringing her because he couldn't find the button to turn it on, so she was getting annoyed saying it's right there in the top right corner. After a minute or two of utter confusion she stopped, laughed, and asked if he'd opened the lid of the laptop. He asked, "What lid?" My dad, who is 95 and completely computer illiterate, knows that you can look up anything on a computer but doesn't know the right words. He was talking about an old boxer the other day. I think it was Jack Dempsey. He stated some stats of his career, and when I expressed surprise he said, "Go look it up on your eBay. They'll tell you I'm right." Asked client to restart her computer and she proceeds to unplug it. Back around 2009, my dad was pretty sure that partition was just the more official term for folder. Not really sure how he got the idea, but he sure ran with it. That was a pretty painful time. Not least for my brother, who was studying computer science at the time and was therefore tasked as the laptop unfucker. Old lady asking someone to withdraw money at the ATM, and giving strangers the PIN for her card. Because she didn't know how to do it. She does this regularly. My mom makes a new folder every time she uploads a new picture. She has like 600 folder with 1 or 2 pictures each. She doesn't see the problem. Someone who also insisted on printing anything and everything also covered up the second monitor with a piece of paper because they didn't need it. Everyone there had 2 monitors at their workstation and it was really damn necessary. This person insisted it was distracting and there was nothing they couldn't do without it. We were trying to teach grandma how to use a computer. She got stuck at the mouse because she kept lifting it. Using a mouse upside down was pretty funny to see. This was a while ago. Trading computer monitors with someone so they could see how their desktop was set up. I'm in a high school engineering course, and we were doing 3D modeling on laptops. This one girl, who was clearly just there to fulfill graduation requirements, used the trackpad every day for over a week. And if you've ever tried 3D modeling with a trackpad, then you know it just doesn't work. Eventually, I asked her why and she responded, "My mouse doesn't fit," and proceeded to prove to me that her mouse USB, in fact, does not fit into the SD card slot. It still amazes me that a 16-year-old kid who has grown up in the 21st century does not know how to plug in a computer mouse. I work in a cell phone store. I have had on more than one occasion customers get mad at me that I can't access other people's text messages. We had a supply for IT class at school once who asked some kid how to make a folder. He didn't know, and said maybe I would know. I did know. I work in web dev, which includes some occasional photo manipulation. One client brought in an old photo of her great-grandfather, with his back to the camera. She wanted me to turn him around in Photoshop so she could see his face. Another client got absolutely livid with me that I couldn't take the hyperlinked words from her webpage, port them over to her print ad, and still have them function like a link. As an IT guy, the first could go on for hours, but a couple gems come to mind. 1. A Word document on a desktop titled Passwords, with usernames and passwords for every account from banks to phone, email, TV, internet, insurance, etc. on an unsecured Windows laptop with quick detach drive. They brought it in for a remote access scam. 2. A lady came in saying her PC didn't turn on. I pressed the power button and presto, it turned on. She didn't know it had a power button and had never turned it off. She's a very expensive lawyer and had a $2.5K laptop she used for email and legal forms. Had a lady in her 40s bring a new laptop into the shop that I worked at many years ago. She said she bought it brand new from Best Buy the day prior, and now it was completely dead and wouldn't turn on. She put it on our table, and we hit the power button. She's correct. Nothing happened. Then we asked for her charger. The what? Yep. She had zero understanding of laptops using batteries. Or electricity in general, I guess. So we had to explain what a charger is. That she would need to plug it into her laptop when it was low on battery. Was that supposed to come with the laptop? I didn't get one of those in the box. Besides, I already threw the box away. So we sold her a charger. Luckily it was a Dell, so we had plenty in stock. And she went about her merry way. My mum doesn't know how to insert batteries. I showed her several times. Once went a couple of weeks without watching TV because it's broken. Nope, changed the batteries on the remote incorrectly and couldn't turn on the TV. My poor mom. She doesn't understand any of it. But I got her a smart TV so she can watch Netflix and Hulu in her room. And most recently, YouTube. Not a day goes by she doesn't call me into her room in a complete panic telling me her TV is broken because she's watching someone's shittily edited true crime video. The added fuzz, unstable volume, and weird aspect ratios make her think she broke something somehow. If it's not that, it's her trying to find Hulu shows on YouTube and calling me and yelling about how she lost her place lol. Guy installed RAM into his laptop while watching a YouTube video on the laptop on how to install RAM in the laptop. Shorted the MOBO. Plenty of smoke. It infuriates me when I see someone being way too specific with their Google searches and then complain when they can't find anything. What is the best way for someone to remove a stain from their bed sheets but keep the quality of the fabric the same and not ruin the sheet and not have to buy new sheets? My girlfriend's grandma thought that people's profile pictures were pictures that they sent to her. Christopher Paul Neal. TLDR: a child molester is caught after posting scrambled pictures of his face which police simply unscrambled. Edit. Some are saying it wasn't easy. But I'll put it to you like this. I first heard about this story during a programming lecture. The entire class laughed. I can point out why it can be accomplished if it's wanted. Edit 2. I've outlined how I would do this as a reply to this comment. Get comfy. It's long. Supervisor. Well, we could ask IT. But there's nothing they could really do about it. Because she couldn't identify the issue with my computer. IT wouldn't be able to fix it or help at all. My brother had a Zoom wedding 2 months ago. Several relatives in their 60s were taking pictures of the screens. Lady at work didn't understand you could email a PDF by attaching it to an email. She would print off the document and then scan it to her email and then forward it to the client. A woman in her 30s. Emo too young to be this technically illiterate given this was in 2017. Was trying to plug in the female side of a power cable to a wall outlet. And when it was missing, the prongs came to the logical assumption they had broken off and gotten stuck in the wall. I saw all of this in person while she was on the phone with her poor tech support guy, probably confused on how this woman tore the prongs off of her power cable. She figured it out before I left. But it was a sight to see. Type Google in a Google search engine search box. Okay. I've got 2. Both of these are old ladies in the workplace. 1. Need to walk a user through changing of a value. We went through 5 agonizing minutes over the telephone about click this, read the error message, click something else, finally set the value. She says, now it says you have successfully changed the value. Okay. Cancel. Which one should I click? The fact she was willing to cancel all of our work just made me lose hope that she understood anything of what we were doing. 2. User says she somehow got her laptop screen turned upside down. Rotated 180. And she couldn't do anything. Even used the mouse to undo the setting. I confirmed with her that she could see the mouse cursor move on the screen. I said, have you tried turning the mouse upside down? Then you can move the pointer intuitively to click on things to rectify the problem. She said that was a crazy suggestion. And no, it didn't help. Later, she told me that in following my suggestion she had flipped the mouse on its back. Like with her hand on the laser and the buttons on the desk. Not something I've seen someone do. But something someone requested. It was at a drugstore photo lab and basically went like this. Customer. Visibly struggling. Attempting to pull the pic on the screen over to the left. Me. Is there anything I can help you with? C. Yeah, I'm trying to get my friend back in the picture. Me. Oh. Did you crop it too close? You can just hit the back button and it will revert to normal. C. No, this is the whole picture. He was just standing over here. Points about 3 inches away from the edge of the photo on the screen. Can you bring him back? Me. Did you take a picture of him? C. Nope. Me. Then no. Dude was like in his 20s. And this wasn't exactly the dawn of digital photography. This was 2015. My husband keeps accidentally changing the keyboard on his phone to Korean and I have to show him how to get the English one back every time. My former boss used his calculator to sum a column of numbers in Excel and keyed the total in manually. When my parents upgraded their Mac maybe 5 or 8 years ago. It was the new kind where there's no tower. They didn't realize that, so they called to say, hey, you only sent the monitor. No tower. The kicker is that the Apple lady apologized and sent another computer. She didn't know there was no tower. So she sent along an entirely new computer. My parents eventually sent one back because they're too honest. Just ridiculous that the rep for the company wouldn't know the absolute most basic thing about their new model. What it looks like. Uncle needs step-by-step instructions to minimize a window or open a new tab. It's been explained to him dozens of times.